Welcome to the deep dive. So today we're doing something a little different. We're not chasing headlines.
No.
We're opening up what you might call an ancient instruction manual, almost like an operating system update for your mind.
That's a great way to put it.
We're kicking off a new series. It's going to be a longer, more contemplative exploration of one single source, Valmiki's Yoga Vasistha.
And this text, it's really framed as a dialogue.
Yeah.
It's this conversation between the Sage Vasistha and a young Prince Rama.
Prince Rama, right.
And Rama is going through this profound existential crisis. The whole thing is an exploration of consciousness.
But not in a dry, philosophical way.
No, not at all. It's presented as a very practical, step-by-step guide to what it calls lucid awakening.
Lucid awakening. I really like that phrase. I think that's key to our mission here. We want to take these teachings, story by story, and really understand what it means to find that kind of clarity and freedom while you're still in the middle of a busy life. It's about mastering that internal chaos.
Exactly. And to help with that, the text gives us a kind of map, a 6-stage map.
Yeah.
The entire Yoga Vasistha is structured across 6 books, and each one is a pretty distinct stage of that inner evolution.
And the map starts somewhere, I think, incredibly relatable. The journey begins with that initial pain point, book 1.
The crisis of meaning.
Right. The text calls it Vairagya. It's that feeling, that deep internal dissatisfaction when the outside world, your job, your things, it just doesn't satisfy you anymore.
And that crisis is necessary. It leads right into book 2, which is Amuchu Vyavahara.
Which means?
Readiness for liberation. It's where that vague distress turns into a sincere search. You start preparing for the actual inner work.
Okay, so once that foundation is there, we get into the mechanics of reality itself, and this is where it gets really fascinating.
It really does.
Book 3, Utpatti. It's all about how the mind, our own mind, imagines and projects its reality.
The idea being that what we think of as me and the world is just, well, a mental construction.
A mental construction. So the obvious question then is, why does it feel so incredibly solid?
Exactly. And that's book 4, Sthiti, which examines that continuity. It shows that the world seems to persist purely out of habit.
Like refreshing a browser tab over and over?
That's it. The solidity comes from our belief, not from some inherent structure out there.
And knowing that insight must be what sets up the resolution.
It does. Book 5 is Upashama, which is the quietening. It's the dissolution of all that restlessness, the noise of the ego. The internal monologue finally starts to fade.
Which leads to the end goal. Book 6.
Nirvana. Freedom. But, and this is crucial, it's not about running away to a cave. It's liberation right here in your life.
I think the easiest way to grasp that whole arc is to compare it to lucid dreaming.
That's a perfect analogy.
You start by realizing something in the dream is off, then you decide you want to understand it, then you figure out your own mind is creating the dreamscape.
You stop reacting to it.
And finally, you become fully conscious and unafraid right inside that dream. That's the entire progression right there.
It is. And what's so important about this text is that it doesn't demand belief. It doesn't demand ritual or that you withdraw from your life.
It just asks you to look.
It invites you to use your own discernment and to cultivate inner stillness. We'll be using its stories and metaphors to make this all accessible without a ton of jargon.
So we're inviting you to stay with us on this one. Let this understanding deepen naturally as we explore the stories of Rama and Vasistha over the next few deep dives.
And what's so powerful about it is, since the entire journey is about changing your internal landscape, it doesn't require you to go anywhere.
Right.
It only requires a shift in perspective.
And that shift begins next time. This was just the introduction to the series. The real journey, where we start exploring the first teachings of Vairagya, begins in our next session.